about 3 months ago, my brother-in-law Kelly called me up, and he told me he was looking at a bulldozer, and I asked him what for, and he said he was going to buy it and bring it up here to the ranch and let me use it for a while, and maybe at some point haul it down to his farm. And I started looking for bulldozers after that, after he made it known that he was willing to fund a bulldozer for me for a little while anyway. And I continued to look around, and I found this giant excavator that I'm sitting in, and the price was almost exactly the same. And so I talked him into buying this excavator and letting me pay him back down the road, and thinking that it would probably be more useful, an excavator this size would be more useful up here than a bulldozer. The idea behind the bulldozer is that we could put roads in all over to the back of the property, which is what I really wanted to do. My backhoe is pretty limited on the hillsides. I can do a lot, and I've done a lot with the backhoe, but it's always vulnerable to flip over. And an excavator, especially a big, huge, heavy excavator like this, is a solution to the problem. This thing has a reach of over 30 feet. And so what we hope to do is get a mechanical or a hydraulic thumb for it. And, this thing will clean up the trees that I've cut down and wanted to thin out like they aren't even there. The problem with this excavator is it is so big and so heavy that now that it's here, it's probably never going to leave. It was hard to find somebody that was even willing to haul it the 80 miles from Ogden all the way up here. And so we finally found somebody at the last minute, thank goodness. The front hydraulic ram on this excavator was damaged, and I happened to find a hydraulic ram that will work on this, and so I've got to do some repairs there. And the other issue is the track. The right track does not seem to engage and have the power that it should. Overall, the hydraulics seem to be a little bit tired, and I'm hoping that we can fix that without spending too much money. But the bottom line is we bought this thing for about half the price of scrap metal. It's got a new motor. I think the motor has 1,200 hours on the new motor. And so, if we have to spend a little bit of money down the road on the hydraulics, I think it's still worth it. It's a 1994 Case 9060B. And the weight of this thing is 98,500 pounds, which is ridiculous. It's old enough where it's still fairly mechanical, but it's new enough. It's actually got a newer Mitsubishi motor. We think the motor is only a few years old. And so the motor, every time we start, it starts and runs beautifully. It was a pain getting it up the road. It took every bit of 4 hours to get it the last 2 miles up in here because this right track just wanted to fight us the whole way. So we need to figure out what's going on there. I hope it's not the final drive, but it probably is, and the final drives on these things weigh about 1,000 pounds apiece. My hope is to move this from where it's at right here in the front yard of our house and get it up on the hill where we can have a more stable place to work on it. But this thing is a game changer for both myself and Terrell. This will put in roads like without any issues at all. And then it will also help. There's a spot up on top where I intend on digging a pond, a big pond, a runoff pond, and I will plumb some sort of a water system into that where I can use that water to irrigate, to water all the trees, to just have hose bibs. I'll have to mark them as non-potable water, something like that. So this excavator is a huge piece of the puzzle, and I'm incredibly grateful to my brother-in-law Kelly and my sister Shelly for helping me do this. We got some work to do to it, and once we get the bugs figured out with this thing is a beast. I mean, it's an absolute beast. 98,500 pounds. I didn't even know they made a track hoe like this that was even close to that weight. But anyway, we'll get her going and start figuring out some of the issues. I want to change the hydraulic filters and the obvious stuff to just do the easy stuff first, And then I've got a friend that lives not too horribly far away that I'm going to have come over and look at this next week and see if we can figure out what's going on with it.